So guys, I'm right here with Elegoo and I'm quite a good customer of you guys.
Yes,
so I'm very happy to meet you in person, Kevin.
Nice to meet you too.
Right over here we have the jupiterSE and this is quite looking like the regular Jupiter, only there is a little difference. This thing right over here. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, jupiterSE is actually the light version of the Jupiter. We have done some work on the cost, so it's kind of a cost down version of the Jupiter, but we have some new features add on. For example, it still has the 6K resolution, but we have a auto fitting and auto retraction of the resin. And also it comes with a brand new design of the light source. It has a COB light source plus with a refractive function. So the light source is more vertical. So make sure that all the prints are has a very good smooth surface.
Good defined on the pixel.
Yes.
Right. So this is actually cheaper, but it has an automatic feeding function, which I have to find out that with the review I did of I am doing on the Saturn 3 Ultra, I ran out of resin, so I had a major failed print, all my fault. So this would actually save me and just feed the resin in it, as I understand
I think
it. So. So the motion system of this is the same. So we have the same Z-axis.
Yeah, the same Z-axis.
Yeah.
And also the build plate is a little bit different, so it's much easier for the leveling. And it comes with a 4-point leveling system. It's much easier for the customers to level the build plates.
Yeah. So if they want to open it up, they have to take the whole container up.
Yes. But we have the handle. So we can use the handles like this. Pop it off.
So this is quite a compact design. The Jupiter is a bit bigger, but it has the doors, which I found to be very handy. I'm really a fan of the hinged doors. Is there going to be a version that also will incorporate some kind of a hinge, or is it only encapsulated like this?
Well, it's only encapsulated like this, but as mentioned, this is the cost down version. So the retailing marketplace, the retailing price will be like only the half of the Jupiter, so it's about $700. So I think it's a very good price point for the consumers.
So the FEP material, is it still an NFEP or are you switching to ACF?
I think it's the PFA.
The PFA. Okay. So I am actually testing the ACF on the Jupiter and I have found, maybe a good tip for you, I have found I can bump up the speeds to 200 millimeters a minute without issue. Even on the Jupiter, the big printer, just like this one. So I was able to print it at 200 millimeters a second. It's a bit of a spoiler because the video isn't out yet right now. So if you are thinking about speeding up this printer, change your FEP. So this little guy right over here. So this is a DLP. Can you explain me the difference between this LCD and the technology that is in here?
So the LCD comes with the monochrome LCD panel. So generally it has a not as long as the DLP projector because the lifespan is about I don't exactly the number, but according to our experience, this DLP projector normally has like about maybe 10 times longer than the LCD panel. So most of our customers, if they choose the DLP projector, that means you have less maintenance and a longer lifespan for the printer compared with the LCD.
So there's less wear on the screen because there is no screen. There's a laser behind it. And the speeds, how about the speeds? Can we do the same as with the regular mono LCDs?
The printing speed are pretty much the same with the LCD version. Because they are coming, we didn't design this printer to be a fast printing machine. So it has a regular printing speed, maybe around 50, as mentioned here, 50 millimeters per hour.
And how about the resolution? What can we expect from this printer?
The resolution is about around 2K resolution, so it's not as high as the current Mars and Saturn.
So you are choosing to get a high lifetime of the screen. That is the major plus of the system. That's the life cycle of the projection system.
Yes, you mean the lifetime of the projector? It is much longer than compared with the LCD version.
All right. So I have one viewer comment that asked me how about the future of Elegoo, because we have seen a lot of development at Elegoo, but I have also seen that development is a bit on the same lane. So we are seeing higher resolutions, we are seeing bigger printers, we're seeing ACF, but the real evolution, which I am very interested in, when are we going to see integrated VOD heating? for instance, VOD heating. What can you tell me about that? Is this something that we can expect in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I cannot disclose all the information regarding the product roadmaps, but I can tell you is that the features you mentioned for the resin printers is definitely available in the next generation. I mean, the next generation of Satin, we can provide our customers with the that heat up, especially in winter when you print with resin. You can warm up the resin, then you can continue the printing.
Even right here, it can be quite cold, and in the shop that I'm working with, I have to heat my resin because otherwise, and even with the lower print speeds, if we use a tough resin, you can have big problems because it's not fluid enough. Yes. So I think the VOD heating would be absolutely a game changer. So I'm really happy to hear that. Then the filter system that's in the printers. I have given Elegoo quite some flack about the filtering, and I have done some VOC testing on the Satin 3 Ultra, and I have to say I'm sorry on my part because I was maybe a bit too harsh on it, that it didn't work, and it's a bit of a gimmick, but now testing it with a little device, and I will insert some shots of it, I can actually say that these work. I was surprised after that. The smell is still existent. You cannot probably fully eliminate it with these heaters, with these filters, but it actually works. So I have to say sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Also, we have another purifier as well. You can, if you don't have the printer, I mean, if you don't have the purifier, we can send you one for testing.
Yeah. So you hook this up to your printer, and like I do, I just vent it outside with an external motor. But this is just integrated into the printer.
Yes. You can also connect it with the Jupiter as well. Back in the back, you can see the port. You can connect with the purifier.
Yeah. This is new.
Actually, we have been this purifier has been on the market for maybe around 6 months.
6 months now. Okay, so this is going to be very handy for people that are going to use it in a closed-off space that not can vent to the outside like I do. So this is going to eliminate everything?
Well, you can use it on we call it the Mars Mate because it's a small version. It can connect with the Mars 4 and also the jupiterSE as well. But in the future, we will probably have like a larger one to accommodate with the jupiterSE and also the Jupiter 2 in the future generation. So we will leave the port in the back of the printer in the future. So that way the customers can connect with the purifier more easily.
And is this smart? Does this communicate with the printer at any means?
Well, they don't communicate as of now, but in the future, I will definitely receive lots of comments like this, and we will consider in the future we will connect the printers so that they can communicate with the printers. For example, like when you stop the printing, then it will stop working.
That automatically turns off and all of that good stuff. All right, so I have seen in the Satin 3 Ultra that we have a very good Wi-Fi integration, and I have used it with voxeldance, and I was surprised of the ease of use. Is this something that we are going to see in every slicer platform?
Yes, currently we work closely with Tango slicer as well, and also Shitbox as well as Lychee slicers. We are working with them very close, so because we know that the customers, they require different slicers. We want to give them all the tools they need.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely in the future we will work with Tango slicers. So, are you a big fan of this tango slicer? Or?
Well, I was a bit skeptical at first because they reached out before I did I started doing the review. They wanted me to test it.
From Tango.
Yeah. They contacted me, and I was a bit skeptical about the slicer. But after testing it, when I received the Satin 3 Ultra, because I wanted to make sure that the Wi-Fi compatibility was there, and I have to say that I'm quite honestly surprised about the capability of the slicer. I think it's really good. Right off the box, there are a few little things which I'm going to pass them on that would be handy for the users, but I have to say for the first time I'm using it, I really like it.
Good.
It's a really good slicer, and this has been sliced by the...
this is 3D printed.
Yeah, this is 3D printed, so this is a resin print, and I have another huge resin print.
Painted it yourself?
Yeah, I have painted it.
Looks amazing.
But this is a very fast print because I didn't have enough time. It was very late.
It still looks amazing.
Yeah. So we have a little bit of a failure of the support system. So I used smart supports, and you can see that it started releasing right over here. So it started curling up, and we see some very faint layer lines. But that's because I'm testing the slicer, and the smart was not enough to overcome the suction forces of the.
Okay.
I redid it with a huge hammer. It's at the boot of Young-hee. And there is a huge hammer that is also printed on the Saturn III Ultra with the slicer of voxeldance.
Okay.
It came out perfect.
You provide that print with them?
Pardon?
I mean, you provide the print with them?
Yeah. So they invited me to the convention.
Wow.
They said, hey, come on over. This was very last minute, that's why I had to rush this job.
Awesome.
But to thank them, I made them a print, and now they are displaying it at their booth in, what is it, hall 11.1? No, 12.1. 12.1.
The next hall.
Yeah. So this is the print I carry with me, but this is a low polygon export. Yeah, so that was one of the things that I didn't know about exporting from Fusion. Normally I export with Fusion and I print FDM. So these things normally I do with FDM, but this was a cooperation with Young-hee. So on the FDM I don't have the same problem because it's fairly low resolution compared to Resin. But now that I printed it in Resin, you can see all the facets because it's so detailed. But I re-uploaded, I did everything myself, but the file that is upstairs is very high polygon, and it's smooth as silk.
Okay.
So the new resolution that is on the Saturn III Ultra, it's you cannot see anything. There's no resolution scaling, or it's really good experience. All right, then let's talk about that huge printer over there, shall we?
Yeah.
So I was actually quite surprised to see this thing. Please tell me what this is.
Yeah, this is the OrangeStorm GIGA we just released on Kickstarter, and it comes with a very massive build volume with 800 by 800 by 1 meter build volume.
That's actually huge.
Yeah, and so lots of customers are probably commercial customers. They can print like the customized furnitures or the full prints for the cosplay suits, and also even for the filming prompts. And also it comes with a maximum printing speed of 300 millimeters per second.
That's with a 0.4 nozzle, I presume?
0.6.
0.6
millimeter.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what hot end and extruder are we seeing here?
Yeah, it's dual geared direct drive.
Direct drive.
Yeah, direct drive, yes.
That is something in-house? You made it yourself?
Yes, it's our own design. And most importantly, you can put 4 printing heads on the same belt. You can multiply your print.
And then you duplicate the same with the same motion.
Duplicate the models, but you can print with different colors or different materials.
Yeah. So this is probably also your first Core XY.
Sorry, it's not Core XY. And it's also not Carlisen. It's based on, we call it something really similar with the H-board structure. Yeah, because if you use Core XY to print such a large build volume printer, it's not a very perfect solution.
So this has, I see it. Yeah, there is a separate stepper for the movement of the only thing that you combine is the bed movement and the print heads is all combined, but you still use a stepper on the axis.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So this is probably only for industrial purposes.
From the price point, I would say it's more related with commercial levels. But the general consumers can also use it. But I think the biggest concern is that where are they gonna put this printer?
Yeah.
Because it's so big.
Even if you would send this to me, I have no clue where I should put it.
You have to consider where to put this printer.
Yeah. So what is the pricing on this?
The current price on Kickstarter is about $1,500 US, and once the Kickstarter campaign is over, we will sell this. We will start a pre-order on our website. The regular price is about $2,000 US,
which is okay, very reasonable for the size.
Consider the build volume.
We have a touch panel right over there, I presume.
Yeah.
So all the controls are going to be right in here.
Yes.
So you upload it from your computer with Wi-Fi, or how does it work?
You can use a USB drive,
Yeah.
and also it comes with, because it's based on Clipper, so you can have all the settings here ready. You can start print this model once you set up this printer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. The smaller ones, are they also running Clipper?
Yes, all the Neptune 4 series are Clipper-based FDM printers.
Yeah. And are they opened up with root access for the user? So can they install Fluid and use their own operating system?
Yes, because all our printers are open source. Customers can change the software and also the hardwares according to their own demand.
Which is very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Everything should be open source.
Yeah.
So we have the Neptune 3 Pro and the 4 Pro, and the biggest difference is the operating system. So we have Marlin on this one, and then we have Clipper on this one. So the Clipper one, the Neptune 4 Pro, will have input shaping, which will give you artifact-free printing. And this one doesn't have input shaping, but as I heard, the future generation of the printers will all have input shaping. But right now, it's only reserved for the Neptune 4 Pro. Then let's talk about the resins, because that is the thing that I'm probably for most people are going to be most recognizable, because I take resin and I test it until it breaks, and then I try to measure it and look what kind of mechanical properties I get out of it. So I have not tested the Elegoo resin lineup, but what can you tell me with the lineup that I can see right now?
Yeah, as you can see here, we have the 8K resin and also the rapid resin, which is we released this year to work with the Satin 3 Ultra, the Master Ultra, because they features fast printing. So it works better with the rapid resin. And as for the 8K resin, it actually launched last year because we have the Satin 2. It is the 8K resin printers, and it works perfectly with the 8K resin because with the fine details you can get. So it's the I would say it's currently the best performance resin we have. But don't get misled by the 8K. It can also work on the 12K.
That
as well.
was what my next question would be. There's one thing that absolutely annoys me, and that is that number on the bottle, the 8K.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I would say it's not a 8K resin, but I would say it's more like the color. So the colors give you a very high definition feel. So that feeling is probably more like a marketing gimmick.
Yeah.
But we call it 8K because of the outstanding color performance.
Okay, so it's not just a number to throw on the label.
Yeah.
It is a little bit.
But I would say that, it works really well on the 8K printers.
All right, I would be happy to receive some bottles and test it out for you.
We can send you for testing. That's for sure.
Great, great. Thank you very much.
That's okay.
Maybe one last question. What can we expect to the future, FDM-wise and resin-wise?
According to our own plan, the country product line for FDM printers, we have Neptune series, and now we have the OrangeStorm. And OrangeStorm is probably the first step we are trying to working towards to the commercial direction. And we will also have another product which is also named OrangeStorm next year, but it will not as big as this one. So for the resin printers, we will have a brand new design for the Satin series, so which can. Personally, and also from our engineering department, we will not seek for a higher resolution. I think that 12K would probably.
I think we reached the limits.
The limits for the naked eye to tell the difference. Between
it's more becoming a gimmick, in my opinion.
So next year, our resin printers would probably stay at the 12K resolution, but with a brand new design, especially when it talks about the warm up for the resin bay, and also some other new structures, which I may not be able to disclose right now.
No problem at all. I have one little nitpick, and maybe you can include it in your future printers, and that is, maybe I'll show you. So my number one change that I would do, and which is probably one of the easiest mods that you can do, is why? Why is this here? Why don't we have latching VODs? We have somebody in the community that did it on the Jupiter latching system. It was fully printable, and we could use the same mounting holes. Of course, with these printers, it's not possible because we don't have enough room to mount it. So, unfortunately, this mod is not going to work on the new printers. So why don't we see latching VATs, and why do we still see these bolts right over here?
Well, what I can tell you is that maybe in the next generation we will have the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
But for now we don't have it. But we are working on it. Honestly, we are working on it, and next generation for the satin, you will see the difference.
Great, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
And I think I already gave you my business card, right?
Yeah, I have it.
I would look forward with maybe some tighter.
This is my name card.
Yeah.
It's my English name,
Yeah.
cell phone number, my email address.
One question. Maybe it's a bit rude, but is this a literal translation of your name?
You mean this?
Kevin? Yeah?
No. This is the Chinese name. It's a different meaning.
It's so you
It's
don't.
not direct
It's not
translation.
Kevin.
If you translate it, it means ice.
Ice. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, you can choose your own name, which is cool, by the way.
You can choose.
Very
Because
nice.
we don't born
Very
with an
nice.
English name.
Yeah, and I'm also very interested in the
sure.
purifying system. I think that is something that is a big hassle for a lot of people because resins can be and are
Acid and toxic.
toxic. Yeah. So, what is your comment on the toxicity of resin? Is it overstated, or is it like they say? Is it very toxic?
Well, I would definitely suggest that our users, when you are dealing with resin, you have to be careful. Wear necessary protections, wear gloves, wear the goggles, and protect yourself, and avoid direct skin contact.
Yeah.
And because I have seen some, not some, but very few, from one customer from Canada, he had skin contact with the resin,
Yeah.
and it caused him some allergy. And because we have been selling resin for about over 5 years, and this is probably only 1 or 2 cases I have known that have skin allergies,
Yeah.
and they have the direct contact. But for the majority of the time, I would say it's quite safe for the customers to use the resin. But
Yeah.
you have to wear necessary
Your proper
protections.
PPEs.
Yeah.
And how about inhaling it? So the fumes that they are extracting if you remove the lid and all of that.
Yeah, so that's why we suggest the customers when they are resin printing, make sure you are in a well-ventilated room. To
Do
keep
not
the
do it in your bedroom, people.
Yeah, make sure you are working in a well-ventilated room, or you can use the purifier to absorb the fumes for you.
Well, I have made a little heater to put in the Jupiter. I don't know if you have seen it, the video.
I can check later.
Yeah, you can check later. And one of the things that I have noticed is I am heating it up to, I think it was 45 degrees to get the chamber nice and hot. But you have to give it an hour to heat up so that everything, also the motion system is nice and hot. Because if you don't do it and the heater cycles on and off, you will see bending on your print. Because it's heat cycling and everything is contracting and stretching of the heat, so it's really important to heat up the printer nice and early that it gets heat soaked, and then you will have amazing results. Or you just turn it off, because once it's hot and you pour in the liquid, it stays hot. I have seen the Satin 3 Ultra reaching 50 plus degrees on the resin just by the screen heating it up, which is handy. Because the hotter it is, the better it prints, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed is that when I open the door, because it blasts the air in my face, I actually noticed that my eyes are starting to itch from the fuming. I have never had any problems, and I still don't have any problems, but just the hot fumes of the resin contacting the eyes are...
Do you have like a purifier to absorb the...
Yeah, I have, well, if I heat it, I don't, but before I open the door, I vent it out, so the fumes, but if I want to make a video and I open up the door and it blasts air in my eyes, I have experienced some itching, not with your resin, by the way, it's just just to inform you that, yeah, it could be just because it's very volatile, because it's hot and all of that. So, but I think that this thing is absolutely going to help with that.
Yeah, I think so. So, would you suggest is that when you warm up the resin, it's better have a purifier to absorb the
Yeah,
fume?
absolutely. So if you are heating it up, and maybe that is also something, that's why I'm mentioning the heated vat, because if you heat the vat, you only heat the resin and the vat, you have no air circulation. So you have less VOCs.
Okay.
But the way that I do it, I heat up the air and everything gets heated like that. And if you then open the door, it hits your face and then you can have some reaction. So I have seen other printers using some kind of the same idea. So they put in a little controller and they put in a PTC heater and then they heat up the air, just like I do. Okay. But in my experience, it's not that great. It's better off if you just heat up the vat and that this is all heated and the rest is just no air movement, and then you have your air filtration. So maybe in the future you can use that as a
very good suggestion.
Yeah, great. That's gonna be it. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. On to the next booth.
Bye.
This piece of content was provided by myself, so if you want to support the channel, you can do that in 2 ways. The first way is by subscribing to the channel, and the second way is giving me a big thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed the next content piece on Fornext, and I see you in the next one.